Welcome to the Rock and Roll Vegas Half Marathon. In the middle of marathon training for the Brighton Marathon, I popped over the pond to Vegas. With the previous half marathon best of a 1 hour 24:30, I was looking to hopefully get into the 1 minute 23s with an outside chance of the 1 minute 22s. Training for the full marathon had been going really well, with a 20-mile long run completed the week before and probably my best session ever, where I managed 9 times 1 kilometre at 3:30 per kilometre with a 2-minute walk. So let's head out onto the strip and see what we can get done today.
So many people spend their sights on, just doing a 5K, then do a 10K.
It's safe to say it was pretty manic making it to the start line, all sorts going on in New York, but eventually we got there. A few 4D runs, lads, here.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale. 3, 2, roll!
After a lovely rendition of the American National Anthem, we are away. Or are we? No, that's the elites getting away, and we've still got a few minutes to wait.
3, 2, roll!
This time we are away at last, just trudging our way across the line, sticking the Garmin on now, and we are up and away. A very busy start, as you can see, as you would expect at the Vegas Half Marathon. Excalibur out to the right, and we are just easing into the race. Our goal pace is just below 4-minute kilometres or 6-minute 20 miles, but we're not worrying too much at the moment. We will wait for things to just ease off on the congestion front before we really try and dial in on that pace. I had done a little bit of course research before going to Vegas and learned that the first 3 miles or so were uphill, and then it was downhill to about 10 miles, and then the final 3 miles or so were uphill. And when I say up and downhill, it was nothing extreme. I think it was going to be about 40-50 metres up in the first 3 miles, then 60 metres down up to 10 miles, and then maybe 30 or 40 metres up in the final 3 miles. But it meant that I wasn't too concerned if I couldn't quite hit the goal pace in those opening couple of miles, as I knew that I had a nice, easy and gentle downhill from then on until 10 miles. 300 metres in, and you can see things slowly starting to thin out. You can also see that I'm going, oh, nice little woo from the crowd, thank you very much. And you can see, got some bangers playing there actually. Oh yeah. Daddy Cole. I've got no idea what that song is, but okay, yeah. No, I do know that song. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for that. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. Right, time to get our head back in the game. You may notice at the bottom left, 3-minute 46 per kilometre, so we're going off at a fair old nick at the moment. I can see a Dulwich runner from London who's just come past me, but he looks like he's a bit of serious business, as Dulwich runners usually are, so I'm not going to follow him. But I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. 3-minute 46 is feeling quite easy, but I do need to ease back because I definitely cannot hold that speed for a half marathon. Skipping forward to just before 1 mile now, and you can see I have dropped the pace off just slower than 4-minute kilometres. And as we go through the 1 mile in a couple of seconds, there we go. It was a 6-minute 21 mile on my watch. Pretty much spot on pace. Everything going to plan so far. Moving forward ever so slightly now to 2.3 kilometres. You can see we're still just a little bit slower than the goal pace on 4-minute flat now. But we are still in the gentle incline, so I'm not worrying too much about it at this point. I'm just absolutely vibing at the moment. just before 3k, and actually the turnaround was a little bit sooner than I thought, and I was pretty grateful for that because I was starting to feel the first signs that I wasn't feeling absolutely incredible at this point, and it's fairly early in the race, but we're turning around now and heading back down the hill. Just before the 2 mile marker, and we've got Dr. Speedos just in front of us. He forgot that he was in a desert and not out swimming, but he's looking absolutely fine, and he's beating me. We're in the gentle downhill now, and it's vital that I start going a little bit quicker than 4-minute flat kilometres. I was just in the 3-minute 58s, and I'm sort of there and thereabouts, so I really need, and there we go, 3-minute 59. I need to really dig deep and make sure I hit that speed. And as we come across the 2 mile marker, the split is a 6-minute 27, which is slightly slower than the goal speed. That's about what my PB is at the moment. But a part of that was a little bit uphill, so hopefully in the 3rd mile we can get back below that goal speed. Oh yeah. The Omega Mart sign on the left is a very interesting place. It's in Area 15 if anyone is visiting Vegas, and it's certainly an experience. 4.5 kilometers in, you can see I'm just below that goal pace, but I am starting to feel a little bit hot. The sun is out and it's starting to drain me ever so slightly. We're heading back towards the main strip now though, so hopefully those crowds will get me going. And the 3 mile marker coming up thick and fast, and it's another 6-minute 27. That is about where my PB is at the moment, but I was really hoping to dip into the 1-minute 23s or even 22s. But it's starting to get pretty tough to keep this pace. But we're back in New York, New York, but the sun is absolutely glaring at us. It's 20 degrees Celsius, which I checked on the airport's website with the weather updates from the meteorologist there. And 20 degrees Celsius is not a temperature that J Mills enjoys overly, especially in the winter when it's been mainly sort of 5 to 10 degrees during my training. It is supposed to be that infamous dry heat where it doesn't hurt quite as much as when it's moist and humid, but as you can see I'm in the 4-minute 10s at the moment, and I am struggling big time. As we pass 4 miles in a 6-minute 35 mile, are the wheels falling off?
Gosh, they're fast.
That is Ailish slightly further ahead, watching the lead group come through. 2 gentlemen absolutely flying along to a rapid time they would get in the end, and I'll show you what that was in a little bit.
I see him. I see him.
There you go.
Woo! Go, Jody!
Oh, there he is. This guy here?
Yeah, there he is. Woo!
And there is J Mills going through the same part around 4 miles, not looking too bad, but certainly not going at the speed of those lunatics out front. Right in the heart of the strip now, approaching Paris, and you can see by the time on the bottom left, 4-minute 30 per kilometre. Nice little frog cheering me on to the right. I'm struggling big time, looking out for a drink. There we go. Guzzle that down, and that's given me a little bit of burst of speed there. The sun is setting, and we really do need it to set because I'm feeling very hot. I'm having to take my hat off quite a lot to get some air going through my hat. Need to get a new hat probably because I wear a golf hat and it's not particularly breathable. So at the moment we've got back into around 4-minute flat pace, 7 kilometres in, Caesar's Palace on the left, the Eiffel Tower on the right. What could possibly go wrong? Disclaimer, I do realise that I shouldn't be this badly affected by 20-degree heat in the setting sun, but I'm a pussy. we're just about holding on to a somewhat respectable pace for what I was going for at this point, but it's really, really starting to hurt. It's a mental game already, and we're not even halfway there. I'd absolutely rinse a Mackey's at this point. And the 5 mile sign is coming up. What's it going to be? It's a 6 minute 37, so it hasn't dropped off drastically. That's still in the ballpark of my PB. Maybe a high 1 minute 24, low 1 minute 25. And on a bad day, that's probably not going to be too bad. I'd feel pretty happy. So hopefully we can try and hold on. The sun setting definitely will help. But as we quickly skip towards the 6 mile marker, you can see the speed down the bottom left. And it's a 6 minute 45 mile. The pace is dropping. This is going to be a grueling evening. Around halfway, it was really hurting, and I'd made the mental decision to just try and make sure I kept a speed quicker than my marathon goal pace, which was around 4 minute 15 per kilometre, which would get me to a sub 3 hour marathon. And that's a 6 minute 51 mile speed. And as we approached the 7 mile marker, and we went through that in exactly 6 minutes 51, so we're still a long way to go, and I'm just about keeping my marathon pace. The half marathon pace is out the window. Shortly afterwards, I do the one thing that every runfluencer says not to do. I try a new gel I've never had before on race day, but it was the only thing that I could think of that could try and resurrect me. I had to try, and it really, really tried to come back up after I put it down me. Could Stevie be the one to resurrect me? Judging by the 4 minute 23 per kilometre, probably not. What magic can I conjure up for the 8th mile? It's a 7 minute flat. It's going to be a slow death march to the end. Bring me back to life, Tay-Tay. Please. I'm being absolutely swallowed by the field currently. And as we round the corner to go back on the final push towards the end, I'm reminded that it's now uphill again. But hey, at least the sun's gone in. And the 9th mile? A cracking little 7 minutes 8 seconds. How I long for the end. Thankfully, the cracking Vegas atmosphere managed to just about keep my spirits up enough, but I really, really wanted to collapse. With a few big D noises starting to come in. 10th mile, a 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Around this point, the winner had come across the line. Andy Wacker crossing the line in 64 minutes and 47 seconds, dropping the guy that was with him around 4 miles by about a minute in the end. Well done, Andy. And shortly afterwards, Alice Wright from Great Britain finished in 74 minutes to win the female elite race, and there was also a second British female who finished in second to make it a GB12. Back to Jay Mills and some very non-elite running, and we find him crossing the 12th mile marker with a mile of 7 minutes and 24 seconds. This pace would only put me at doing a sort of 1 hour 35 to 1 hour 37 half marathon. It's fallen apart quite drastically. Many people overtaking me at this point. I am starting to overtake people on the left who are running the 10k race. It's 10k on the left at this point and the half marathon on the right. just over a kilometre to go. And after doing a little quick bit of math, I realise that unless I really get going, I really get a kick up my backside, I'm going to miss out on a 1 hour 30, which was very far away from my mind when I laced up my shoes in the morning. Right, I'm not having topless runners beat me. Let's freaking go, J Mills. J Mills, you're still being overtaken. Maybe Donny Osmond's the inspiration I finally need to get me going. As I think that's me overtaking a half marathon runner, and I'm finally picking the speed up. I'm out the 430s into the sort of 4 flat-ish. 500 metres to go. Yes, we're finally starting to kick. Let's go. You're mine, topless runner. We cooking now in the 3-minute 20s per kilometre, 200 metres to go, 13 miles just reached. Now we're going to 3 flat speeds in this final 200 metres. How many people can we overtake in this final 200 metres? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I can see a 4th person just ahead. I'm below the 3s now in the 2-minute 40s per kilometre. Can I get this final guy just before the end? Come on, J Mills, push, push, push. Oh, flames everywhere. We're going to get him. Yes, we are. And are we going to get less than a 1 hour 30? Just about. We've managed to get a 1 hour 29 something in the end. A gasp of relief. It's over. That was tough. The fountains of Bellagio swirling up and down in the background. That was certainly our toughest test yet. But we still managed to finish 172nd out of about 15,000 runners. My chip time was a 1 hour 29:49, and I didn't stop despite wanting to stop 855,000 times. And I mean, as you can see, just running this race was absolutely epic. It's a shame I couldn't run to my full potential. It's a slight confidence kick knowing that I need to run that pace that I overall averaged twice to get my goal speed at Brighton Marathon in 5-6 weeks time now. But I'm hoping it was just one of those days where it just woke up, didn't feel overly good in the legs after some fairly hard weeks recently, and I can get back into training over the next 2-3 weeks before the taper starts, and just really hope I can get that sub 3 in Brighton. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to give it everything. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon.